Ladies and gentlemen, we present the Navy Lark with our 3 stars, Dennis Price, John Pertwee, and Leslie Phillips. Most people agree that exercise does you good. However, if the exercise is a naval one with the home fleet, our island detachment are unanimously agreed that it's liable to do them no good whatsoever. A sentiment fully shared by Commander Povey, the inspecting officer from Portsmouth.
Well, Commander Sharp, I'm really looking forward to this exercise.
You would.
Well, aren't you?
No, Commander Povey, I'm not. You know how I hate being on the water. Why they can't hold naval exercises on land is beyond me.
Really? But why don't you suggest they hold exercises in dry dock?
I did. They turned it down flat.
You surprised me.
They were quite rude about it. Said something about the whole object of an exercise was to prove mobility.
Then why don't you suggest they put wheels under all our ships, so that we can have frigates and destroyers pooping off at each other up and down the Great West Road?
Would be rather fun, wouldn't it? Number 1 gun ready. Boom, boom. I've missed a battleship, but I've got a Rolls Royce.
Very funny. However, with all due respect, I would remind you that we are to be observers in this exercise, and it is a task I intend to treat with gravity.
Oh, so do I, old man. I only wish I was sure exactly whom I'm supposed to observe doing what. I can't find my briefcase, and I had all the data in it.
Data?
Yes, data. I'd made a little list divided into 2 parts. Them who's with us and them who's against us.
Oh, grief. Well, there's one frigate you need have no doubts about, even without your data.
Oh, which is that?
Troutbridge. With that shower from the island detachment aboard her, we'll know exactly whose side she's on.
Whose?
Theirs.
True enough. One thing, if we have to go to sea, I'd rather go in anything than Troutbridge.
Why? What's wrong with her?
Nothing at all. It's that mob on board. I've been on exercises with them before, you know. The worst time was when we went to Gibraltar.
What happened? Did they hit the rock full on?
No. Just a glancing blow, actually. But I went ashore to make sure the monkeys were still there.
And were they?
Rather splendid little chaps. Got to know them quite well. We shared nuts.
Troutbridge was a jib for some time, I gather.
No, Troutbridge wasn't, but I was. The blighter sailed without me.
Sailed without you?
Yes, jolly inconvenient. All my gear was aboard and I only had 6pence on me.
Well, how on earth did you manage?
I played the violin in a cafe for a week, then hitchhiked home on a banana boat.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm sure you will be as pleased as I shall if Troutbridge makes one false move in this exercise. Because if they do, we'll court-martial every single man aboard. I don't suppose they've even started to prepare a ship yet.
Men on a dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum.
Mr. Phillips.
15 yo-yos on the Manchester tum-tum. Oh, bother, you've put me off.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
Sorry, but we're going to sea, you know.
I'd never have guessed.
What do you mean?
Well, in the last 5 minutes you've been through Sea Fever, Old Man River, the Skyboat Song, which got dangerously high for you.
Yes, it did rather.
And a grand finale of Steamboat Bill.
Well, it's a sort of medley, you know. Me.
Never mind about me. That's number 1, and he wants you.
I mean, yes, so he does. Hearts of oak.
Mr. Phillips, please.
Oh, yes, of course, no seaside shanties. Come into the garden, Maud.
Come in.
You buzzed, Maud? You buzzed, sir?
Yes, Mr. Phillips, I buzzed. Now then, as our navigating officer took the precaution to go on leave before this exercise, I am reluctantly forced to employ your services in that capacity, Mr. Phillips.
Aye, sir.
At this time, would you be so good as to remember to bring the navigating charts with you?
I was absolutely certain they were on board last time, sir.
Yeah, well, they weren't. I remember we had to navigate by following the Isle of Wight ferry boat for a bit. Then we had to work our way gingerly along the coast until you spotted a day-trip steamer to get behind. And we then spent the night waiting for a fishing fleet to complete their haul before showing us the way back.
Well, sir, we didn't run aground.
Yeah, well, we didn't go anywhere near where we were supposed to be either. Somehow we've got to keep out of trouble. As I hear, Commander Shaw and Commander Povey are to be observers on the destroyer Makepeace, and something tells me that our frigate is the only one that'll be deserving.
Yes, quite so, sir. I mean, aye, sir.
Yes. Then you'd better keep a constant butchers over CPO Pertwee, because if anyone is going to drop us in it, it's going to be him.
Where is he now, sir?
He should be in Frightbridge, but wherever he is, you can be sure he'll be doing one of two things.
What's that, sir?
Lounging or scrounging, or if possible, both.
I'll go and find out which, sir.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Mr. Phillips. No one has ever been able to catch him at either, and goodness knows I've tried.
Who is it? Able Seaman Johnson, Chief. I don't care if it's Captain Bligh. Fluff it all.
Chief, I got something to give you.
Well, I like it.
Yes.
Ain't a friend. Well, where's Pertwee's present, then?
Oh, it's not a present, Chief. It's a message from a tugboat captain alongside.
Oh, you better not repeat it. I've had a very delicate upbringing.
No, this one says he's a relative of yours.
Oh, yeah, of course. That'll be Uncle Ebenezer. He always turns up when we put to sea.
Why?
Well, we're good for trade, my son, that's why. As soon as number one hauls up the anchor, Nunkey chugs along astern, waiting to pull us off the nearest sandbank. At a price, of course.
Does number one always get stuck on the sandbank, then?
Don't you forgetting something, my lad.
What?
I'm the coxswain.
Oh, blimey, don't stand a chance, do he?
Not much, no.
I understand your uncle's message now.
Oh, what was it?
What Oshie bump see you on the Goodwins?
Well, that's where he's wrong. I doubt if number one's going anywhere near him.
What?
Well, we met Nunkey there last time.
Oh, how much did you make?
Nothing. Nunkey was so busy pulling us off, he got his own tug stuck on.
Oh, what happened then?
Well, number one pulled him off with Troutbridge. At the price, of course.
Number one learns quick, doesn't he?
Number one doesn't learn quick, my lad. He usually knows already. Petty officer's mess, but all out. Good morning.
You know, as far as you're concerned, Chief, Oliver Cromwell needn't have bothered to invent the telephone at all.
I wish he hadn't, mate.
Yeah.
Number one's always on the other end of it, blistering my blooming bird holes off.
Always providing he's not here doing it in person.
Exactly, and I don't know which is best, but it... Well, damn me, where'd you come from, sir? I didn't even know you were aboard.
Well, fascinating. I was always sure you knew my every move long before I did.
So was I.
Hard luck, Chief. I want you to report to the bridge. Your coxswain, of course, and Mr. Phillips is acting as navigating officer.
Mr. Phillips, is it?
Yes, with a pair of you up there, I might just as well resign my commission now.
We shall miss you, sir.
Not so fast, Chief. I intend to go down fighting. Now, if I remember, your record is to have run us aground within quarter of a mile of the jetty.
Oh, accidents will happen, sir.
Yes, well, they better not this time.
Oh, it'll be all right, sir. His Uncle Ebenezer's following up behind him.
Don't come!
Quite so, Chief, quite so.
What time do we sail, sir?
Very shortly, Chief. I want you on the bridge in 5 minutes.
Aye, sir.
And if we end up on a sandbank this time, it won't be any good telling me you never could remember which was port and which was starboard.
No, sir.
Splendid. Grand morning, isn't it? See you all on the bridge.
Steady at that. Left hand down a bit.
Left hand down a bit. Aye, Mr. Phillips, sir.
Now straighten her up. Right hand down a bit.
Right hand down a bit.
Now mind
That's it.
Mind the stern. Straighten her up again.
Straighten it up, sir.
Oh, well done, Pertwee.
Congratulations, Mr. Phillips.
Sir?
With quite the strangest navigation orders I've ever heard, you've got us into the open sea without bringing the jetty or half the gasworks with us.
It was a near thing once, sir.
I had noticed.
Yes, it was that delicate and intriguing little moment, sir, when we both covered our eyes and waited for the bang.
I don't think number one saw that, Chief.
No, sir?
No, Chief. I had my eyes shut waiting for the bang, too.
Beg pardon, sir, but is the captain aboard, sir?
Yes, Chief. Once he gets his rod sorted out, he'll probably be up here to ask us to take him to the nearest fishing grounds.
Well, I wouldn't object to that, sir. Just so long as somebody told me which way to twiddle this flaming wheel.
Ah, yes. Mr. Phillips,
Yeah?
something seems to be troubling you. What are you staring out to sea for?
What to see, sir? I was staring out, just looking, sir.
Quite, but what for?
Nothing. Nothing. Chief, can you see the Isle of Wight ferry anywhere?
The Isle of Wight ferry, sir. Mr. Phillips!
Oh, my ear. Oh, I mean, my eye. Aye, sir.
Well, where are your charts and plots?
My charts. Well, that's what I keep asking myself. Where are they, Leslie? I say. Oh.
Well.
Well, there's nothing to worry about, sir. As soon as that ferry turns up, we'll just slide in along stern and...
Morning, number one. Morning, Miss Phillips.
No, Mr. Commander Stanton.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Splendid fishing weather, isn't it?
I wouldn't know, sir.
Well, it is. Capital. Now, here's where I want you to drop anchor. Wonderful spot for haddock, you know.
Quite pardon me for interrupting, sir, but do you think someone could tell me what course we're on?
Oh, the fish course. Of course, yes, of course. It's, oh, Lord. Yes, it's, now, steady as we are.
That is yours, sir.
I think.
Bridge, number one here.
Starboard lookout here, sir.
Well, what is it?
Enemy fleet dead ahead, sir.
Message received. Action stations, enemy fleet dead ahead.
Aye, sir. So they are. Pertwee? I don't know. Just Pertwee.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, do something, Mr. Phillips. Or do you suggest we maintain course and ram the enemy head on?
Oh, isn't it marvelous? Never get any decent fishing on these exercises.
We're getting the error all the time, Mr. Phillips.
Well, how about full of stanza? No, I've got it.
I hope somebody else will be able to see the whites of their eyes in a minute, too.
Hard aport, Chief.
Hard aport, sir.
Ah, you're going to beach her.
Yes, I thought it was the best thing to do, sir. No, sir, no. I'm taking evasive action, sir.
You have been ever since you came aboard, Mr. Phillips.
If we go up that second inlet, sir, it'll take us out to the east, and we'll end up behind the enemy.
The second inlet? How do you know?
Oh, I've lived round here all my life, sir. I've sailed up and down these inlets dozens of times, sir.
Steady on the second inlet, sir. Excuse me, sir. It looks a bit narrow.
Oh, don't worry. It widens out very quickly.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Phillips?
Oh, rather, sir. I've lived round here all my life. Steady as you are, Chief.
Steady as you are, sir.
Yes. Left hand down a bit. Straighten her up. Careful.
This inlet doesn't seem to be getting any wider, Mr. Phillips.
No, it's getting a something sort narrower, sir. You can open the porthole and stub your fag out in the bank now.
Oh, nonsense, Pertwee. I told you I've lived here all my life.
Look out!
What the place is that?
Oh, Lord.
Mr. Phillips!
Well, sir.
You seem to be in residence again. We are aground.
I had noticed, sir.
Of all the tomfool, idiotic numbskulls who ever wore a uniform...
I'm it. I just don't understand it, sir. I'm sure that second inlet ought to lead round to the east. And I... Oh, Lord.
Now what?
I just remembered. It's the first inlet that gets wider.
Now he tells us.
Brilliant.
This one is a sort of cul-de-sac.
If it wasn't before, it is now.
Oh, I don't know, sir. Could be worse. It's a lovely view.
Magnificent, Chief, but I'm sick to death of it already. All I wish to know is how do we get off?
If Commander Povey ever finds us here, he'll have you court-martialed for hazarding your ship, sir.
Well, that eventuality had crossed my mind, Mr. Phillips.
Oh, jolly bad luck, sir.
Spare your sympathy, Mr. Phillips. I shall base my defense on the incompetence of a navigating officer who leaves his charts behind and lets us steam up the backwaters like Sanders of the river.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes, Chief?
Koza.
Bridge here. Sanders of the river speaking. Sub-Lieutenant Phillips speaking.
Starboard lookout, yours, sir.
What is it, Goldstein?
There's a catty old tug astern, sir. I think he wants to pass.
Oh, thanks.
What is it, Mr. Phillips?
It's a tatty old tug-a-tarn, sir. Sir. And I think he wants to pass.
Tatty old tug. It's Nanky. Here, let's have a look. Oi, oi! What's a Nanky? How's auntie? Well, try to take more water with it.
Chief, do you think you could postpone the family reunion until later?
Yeah, but it's Uncle Ebenezer, sir. He'll soon have us off, though, sir.
At a price, of course.
At the price, of course.
Afternoon, all. Well, here we are again, then.
Fancy you turning up, eh?
Yes, fancy it. We appear to require your assistance, Mr. Pertwee.
Not half you don't. You've really done it this time, haven't you? It's going to cost you something, this lot is.
Yes, I never imagined that it wouldn't. However, let us settle the sordid financial details later. We're supposed to be in an exercise, and I would like to rejoin the outside world as soon as possible, preferably before they start looking for us.
Fair enough. I'll pop down and get a hawser on your starn. As soon as you entered this inlet, I knew we were in business.
Nice, Sam. I do wish you'd cheer up a bit.
Sir?
Well, Chief?
Look, sir, it's just a thought, sir. But if we're going to try and keep this quiet, how are we going to pay Nanky?
And I've already thought of that, Chief.
Oh.
It'll make a nasty dent in the unit comfort fund, of course, but a few extra socials should soon put that right.
Yes, that's what I thought. No, I was afraid of that. Pertwee's going to get done something horrible for a month, I know.
Yes, possibly longer, of course. Well, it could depend on how hard a bargain Nanky drives.
Message received, sir. I'll have a short, sharp chat with him later.
Oh, splendid. Remember me to your aunt, won't you?
Oh, aye, sir.
I think the tug's about to haul us off, sir.
Splendid. Now, let's watch the grand old man of the sea at work.
Nanky's taking the strain, sir. Blimey, he's hit a house.
I say, what happened? Did the hawser break?
No, sir, no, we pulled the starn clean off his tongue.
Lummy, he shot clean up the bank into that house. I say, he didn't half go, didn't he?
Yes, he did, sir. Yes.
I shot an arrow in the air. It fell to earth. We can all see where.
You miserable lot of landlubbers, dressed up on dogs' dinners!
No!
Now look what you've done!
What on earth's going on now?
It's Nanky, sir. He's bunging coal at us.
You know, Sam, I think he's a little bit upset, sir.
Very possibly, Mr. Phillips. Now what?
Who did that? That's what I want to know. What the blazes is going on here?
What seems to be the trouble, sir?
Trouble? There I was in my deck chair doing a bit of fishing, when suddenly I get clouted with a load of kitchen nuts.
Bullseye!
Oh, not bullseyes, kitchen nuts.
Most peculiar, sir.
Jolly painful it was. Just got a bite, too. Must have been a big fellow, weighed a ton.
Probably Nanky's stern, sir.
Most distressing, but the fact remains that we're still aground.
Yes, and Nanky's even more aground than we are. He's halfway to Dorking. There's only one thing for it, sir.
What's that, Chief?
Well, sir, now then, look, it so happens that a relative of mine...
Ah, one we've met before?
No, sir, no, you haven't had the pleasure of this
I
one.
shall look forward to that.
Lovely, sir, lovely. Well, it so happens, by pure coincidence, naturally, that he's in a key position as staff officer in charge of salvage and distress craft.
Ah, that's the life.
Very enjoyable, sir, very enjoyable. Well, I thought I could call him up on the radio and ask him to whistle something over here a bit sharpish. Like.
Yes, an excellent scheme, Chief, but there is a slight snag.
Snag, sir?
Yes, you see, during the exercise, we're supposed to be maintaining radio silence. Now, if we start calling up your delightful and useful relative, Commander Shaw, worse still, Commander Povey, are almost bound to hear it.
Yes, it's a problematical, sir. That's what it is. It's a big problematical.
It is indeed.
All the same, sir, as far as I can see, our only alternative attitude, sir, is to sit here until old Thunderguts finds out anyway. So we may as well chance it.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Chief. We'll chance it. Now, tell the radio operator to put you through, but try to be brief.
Aye, sir.
Where the devil are they, Shaw? That's what beats me. Most extraordinary. We've combed the whole blasted channel. There's not a sign of them.
I thought they must have gone up that inlet that leads to the east.
We went round that.
Makes us look a pair of ninnies, doesn't it?
How do you make that out?
Well, a bit pointless being observers when you can't find the ship you're supposed to be observing.
Commander Shaw, with all due respect, I would like it clearly understood that it is Troutbridge that is lost, not us!
6 of one and a demi-douze of the other, if you ask me. Neither of us knows where the other is.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, good show. 2 lumps, please.
Sorry, sir, I haven't brought tea, but there's a radio signal I thought you ought to know about at once.
I'd rather have had the tea.
Radio signal? What signal? There shouldn't be any.
It's from Troutbridge, sir.
Ah!
And what did they say? Peekaboo?
It wasn't to us, sir.
I didn't imagine it would be.
Well, it seems they're stuck on a sandbank, and they're trying to get help from a staff officer Wilberforce Pertwee at Pompey, sir.
I might have known it. What's their position, do you know?
Yes, sir. They're about here on the chart, sir.
I say, they're up the creek without a paddle. I mean, without an outlet.
So that's where they went.
What are you going to do? Follow them?
No. We are going to wait for them at the mouth of the inlet and pounce on them when they come out. Did the message say anything else?
No, sir. Well, just keep your eye out for old Thunderguts. He'll be doing his nap.
What? All the confounded blistering, blithering, and...
They're right. He is. Jerk the mess up about that tea, will you?
Nearly out of the inlet now, sir.
Thank you, Chief. A little moonlight would have been handy.
Should be up shortly, sir.
Jolly sporting of your relative to pull us off like that, Pertwee.
Well, he owed me a slight favour, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. His wife's the chief cook in the Wrens, and I had her posted to foreign service for him.
Oh, how kind.
Ah, the open sea at last. Hard a port, then full speed ahead, Chief. Hard a port, then full speed ahead, sir.
Left hand down a bit.
Left hand down a bit.
Shut up, Mr. Phillips. It was your left hand down a bit, straighten that up a bit, that got us into this awful mess.
Well, it never had happened, sir, if that ferry had been on time.
Action stations!
Who did that?
Stop engines!
Ahoy there, Troutbridge!
I seem to recognize those velvet tones.
I think it's Commander Povey in Makepeace using the loud hailer, sir.
Can't be, sir. He doesn't need one.
Ahoy there, Troutbridge! This is Commander Povey.
All right, caps off.
I'm delighted to see you are still afloat.
Pass me the loud hailer, Mr. Phillips.
Sir?
Oh, there, Commander Povey. And have you been waiting long?
Number care number 1. I'm going to demand a full inquiry when this exercise is over.
Yes, I thought you might. Just a slight error in navigation, sir.
So I gather. You ought to have joined the rest of the fleet 50 miles east an hour ago.
Yes, we rather expected to at one time, sir.
Well, I'm going to make you join this exercise if it's the last thing I do. Board us down of Makepeace, and we'll lead you around the inlet for the rest of the fleet.
Well, don't bother, sir. We know the way now.
I'm not taking any chances. Get a start.
Aye, sir. Well, Chief, you heard what the man said.
Oh, sir. Slow ahead.
Left hand down a bit.
Mr. Phillips.
Sorry, sir. Right hand up a bit.
Chief, sir, would you oblige? With pleasure, sir. Mr. Phillips, sir?
Yes, Chief?
Don't up!
Thank you, Chief.
Not at all, sir. The moon's coming up, sir. We can see where we're going now. Sir? Sir?
Don't worry about it, Chief. Just keep going.
No, but sir, this inlet, sir, it looks a little like...
Just follow Makepeace, Chief. Commander Povey knows the way.
I say, sir, this inlet doesn't seem to be getting any wider, sir.
Well, doesn't it, Mr. Phillips? Bridge number 1 here.
Starboard lookout here, sir.
What is it?
Well, sir, there's a tug with no stern up ahead, sir.
Thank you. Stop engines, Chief. Stop engines. Go on, sir.
Well, now all we've got to do is to wait.
And I don't think it'll be long, sir.
Pretty tune, sir.
Thank you. The title's in the last line, and I never get that far.
Sir?
Well?
What are we waiting for, sir?
That's what, Mr. Phillips.
Lummy, he's gone aground.
Now, we don't know that for certain, do we, Chief?
No, sir. No, not for certain.
And that's a poser, isn't it, Chief?
A poser.
A poser, Chief. We could, of course, proceed and extract Commander Povey from his predicament, but if we do, and he is aground...
We'll have to keep ourselves available for a right mouthful at his court-martial.
Exactly. Over the serious matter of hazarding his ship, Chief.
Oh, very serious indeed, sir.
Alternatively, we might have a word with a certain relative of yours.
The one in charge of salvage and recovery craft, I'll take it then.
The very one, Chief, suggesting that the next time he's passing this way, he might earn himself a discreet bob or two.
Every little help, sir. He comes from a very large family.
Precisely. And if we decide on that course, it might well be that should Commander Povey feel any animosity towards us at some future date,
we might feel entitled to mention, sir.
A certain occasion when things went bump in the night.
Oh, fully entitled, sir, fully entitled.
Oh, that should fix old Thunderguts.
I fancy so, Mr. Phillips. Slow astern, would you say, Chief?
Oh, I'd say so, sir. Slow astern it is, sir.
Hold there, Patrick! Welcome are you?
As Mr. Phillips would say, left hand down a bit, Chief.
Left hand down a bit it is, sir.
Aye, where are you going? Go back!
Straighten her up, sir.
By all means, Chief.
Grand evening, isn't it?
That was Dennis Price, John Pertwee, and Leslie Phillips working their passage in The Navy Lark, written by Laurie Wyman. Dennis Price was the number 1, John Pertwee was the chief petty officer, Leslie Phillips was the sub-lieutenant, Commander Povey was played by Richard Caldicott, and Heather was Heather Chasen. Commander Shaw was Michael Bates, Able Seaman Johnson was Ronnie Barker, and Ebenezer Pertwee was Tenniel Evans. The recorded production was by Alistair Scott Johnston.
The Navy Lark was presented by the BBC.